Back we are. We changed our app component here, but until now we don't really know how this whole thing gets loaded up in the first place, right? Now let's have a look at our index.html file. Here we have a standard HTML skeleton. Well, we could have some meta tags up here in our head section, but in the end it's just a standard HTML file. And here we got our title. Here we got some imports. These imports here are very important, and you should not change the order of those imports because the order matters. We're importing our Angular 2 package here. We're already importing another package for the router, which we're currently not using, but it's good to have there. We're importing rx.js, which will allow us access to observables. I'm not going to go into detail about them right here. We will have a look at observables when we're talking about accessing servers, accessing the web, doing calls to, for example, RESTful services. This is our system.js loader, so to say, which makes sure that our modules are correctly loaded when our app is running, and so on. So these are the basic imports for our application to run, and you should not change anything here unless we talk about that in the lecture. Now in the second part, our system.js is configured. As I said, this is responsible for correctly loading all our modules in the running application. So it is perfectly pre-configured. You don't have to do anything there. It's just making sure that all the dependencies of our files are correctly inserted, and that our application runs smoothly. Because in the end, you can see in our app folder, our compiled files are also separate files, and somehow we need to tie them together in the running application, and that is what system.js is doing for us. Now then I'm importing just my style sheet here, the app CSS file, my default style sheet for this project. Currently it only contains a little very basic formatting. And then we're finished with the head section. Then we got this base href, this strange tag here, right? Now that's important for routing, and I will come back to that when we're in the actual routing section. For now, just let it be the way it is. We're now in our body section, and here we can see our app tags. So the app tags we're setting up here in the provider, where we're actually seeing them here. Let me just zoom in. So that is where our component gets embedded into our index.html. And now there are two important things here. The first thing is, this app component will be our root component, and all our Angular 2 applications will have one such a root component. All other components will be somehow nested either in the parent-child or in sibling connections within this app component. So all our components will be a child to our app component, and the components then amongst themselves, they can be siblings too, but we will only have one root level component here, which is the app component. So this is the first important thing, that we have this hierarchy and that we have this root component. The second thing is, okay, we're inserting it here, and this will kind of, load it, but we need to load our JavaScript files too. Or our application itself, we need to load that too, so that we're actually able to insert something here. And we're doing this in our boot.ts file. This file gets imported here, app boot. So if you rename this boot.ts to main.ts, you will have to change this to main. And what it basically does is, this is the first file that gets executed. Otherwise, no file would run, or no JavaScript would be running at the beginning of our application when we first fire up index.html. Now in this boot.ts, there has to be something which gets our whole application going. And we have two imports here. The first one is the bootstrap method from our Angular 2 module. And that's a core method. This method will, like the name says, bootstrap our application. It will start up our application. The second import is our app component. Now here you can see we're importing app component from our app.component file, which is this file, and here we're exporting this class. We could not import it if we would not export it here. And then we're just using this bootstrap method we're importing here, and we're passing one argument, which is our root component, the component we want to bootstrap, so to say, the component with which we want to start up our application. So we're passing our app component as an argument, and this will set up and start up our application, and will take care that we can see what we're actually seeing here. Next video, we will write our own app component. See you there. Bye.